Hi guys, and welcome along to lesson 21 of my series of programming in the basic computer programming language. I've got a program up here on the screen that I'm sure you recognise from lesson 20. We've just done this program, or part of it I should say. In the last program, this program that you can see in front of you now, we created a table to display your expenditure. That's sort of like a budget thing. Now, the drawback with that was that we couldn't really edit it, so I decided that we just add a little bit more code and make the program a little bit better so that we can actually edit it. I want to show you this running in a few seconds, but basically all the program up to line 240 is the same. 250, if you remember, in the old program was the end statement. We've added the extra bit on that I'll scroll through now and show you. So we've added from line 250 downwards, as you can see. So we've actually changed that end to restore, and we've added this bit of code in that you can see there to do what we want to do to edit it. The data statements are there, so your rent mortgage is still 1, council tax is 2, food is 3, travel is 4, so on and so forth, and the data is all in one data statement. As you can see, it goes right the way across. I'll not go all the way across, but there's 10 items on there, which corresponds to the 10 items in array X. Okay, without further ado, what I want to do is show you this running, and then I want to explain to you a little bit. It's not going to take a lot of explaining because I'm not going to explain the first part of the program. I've already done that in lesson 20. If you want to have a look at just the first part, go and have a look at lesson 20, either at the text tutorial on the site or look at the YouTube video, or both preferably. Okay, let's see this one running, shall we, and see what happens. Okay, so everything comes up exactly the same as it did before, as you can appreciate. This time we'll stick with some random numbers again. We'll put in 250 again for the income, and we'll put in for your rent and mortgage 110, council tax 20. Food, we'll go overboard. We bought some luxuries this week. We've paid £60. Travel, £25. Gas, £12. Electric, £10. Water, £8. Phone, £25. Insurance, £12. And drinks at work, we'll say £6. Okay, so as you can see, it gives us a table similar to in lesson 20. This time you'll notice, we've got a minus figure, so obviously we need to adjust some items in here to try and get us back on balance. And we need to find £38 from somewhere. You will also notice the new statement here, which is saying, would you like to edit your expenditure table? Now we can type a Y in there, or a yes, or yes please, or whatever you want, but as long as the first character that we type in there is a Y, either upper or lowercase, it will edit the table. If it's anything else, it will assume that it's no, and it won't edit the table. So let's go ahead and do some editing, shall we, and just make a note of these figures here, i.e. the minus 38. I'm going to edit the food item first. Now the food we've put in there is £60, so let's say we can cut food down to, let's say £35 a week we can spend on food. So we want to alter that figure now. We're going to tighten our belts a little bit and put in there £35. So what I'm going to do is, would you like to edit your expenditure table? So I'm simply going to press a Y in there, and then it'll say please enter the item to edit, or we can type an X if we wish to quit the edit part of the program. So what we want to do is type in food, so I must make sure that I type it in exactly as it's listed here. In other words, it's got a capital F, so we must put a capital F in there. Food, so I enter that, and then it'll ask me for the new value. Okay, so what I'm going to do in there and put, right, okay, we're not going to spend £60 in future, we're going to spend £35 on food. And immediately you can see the table's updated. Everything else is the same apart from food, which is now 35. We've got a new balance which has been recalculated, and we've got the new amount left to spend at the end, which is now only £13 over budget. So we need to look at something else to cut down. So let's say that we can cut our phone bill down from 25 to £15. So let's look at that one. So we'll look at phone. So again, it asks us, would you like to edit your expenditure table? So we type there yes, and then we type in phone, again making note of the capital letter at the beginning. in this case. If you don't put capital letters in, then you don't need to type the capital letters in, of course, but we do for this. And then please enter the new value. So let's say we can trim a tenner a week off that. Enter that in, and of course now we're only £3 over budget. So from that you can see that it does work, and we can update anything and everything we want. We can cut our travel back now. We can say, okay, we can manage on £20 a week travel. So we can go into there. Would you like to edit your expenditure table? So we'll go yes again. This time we'll type in travel. Enter that. Enter the new value for travel. So let's say we can drop that down to £20 a week. Enter that, and as you can see, we now have £2 a week spare out of our wages. So as you can see, that does actually alter the values as you're altering them there. You can edit them, which saves you having to retype all the values in again. Not so bad if you've got 10 values, but if you've got 20, 30 or more values, it certainly saves you a good bit of time. Would you like to edit your expenditure table? Now we can type anything in here. We can type go away or whatever we want to type in there. And it'll come up with, thank you, all edits have been applied, your final table is above. In other words, it's ended the program, because it's assumed that we've said no. Well, we have said no, but we've said it in a different way. So this is the program that does the work from line 250. So I'll just run through it from line 250. If you want anything earlier than that, then you'll have to refer to lesson 20 for that. Line 250 restores all the data statements because we've read them here in the last program, so we need to reread these later on in the program. So our first instruction, we took the end out on line 250 and we're going to put restore in there to restore the data. Then we simply print out a blank line to make the output look a bit better, and then we ask, would you like to edit your expenditure table? We input the answer into $. This is a new, not a new statement, but new parts of a statement in here, and we're asking if $, character 1 for one character's length, i.e. character 1 to character 1, is equal to capital Y, or if $1:1 is equal to lowercase y, then go to 310. In other words, if we've got a yes answer in there, even if we said yes please, it would still pick up the first character as a Y, then it would jump to 310. If it's anything else than a Y, which is we're assuming that it's no, then we go to 470, which just ends the program down here. But if we've got a Y in there and we want to do some editing, then it jumps down to 310 where it prints another line, just to keep the output tidy. Then it asks you to enter the item to edit or an X to quit. We will input the item you wish to edit in. I think in our example we used food at first, so we would type food in there, and then we check to see if the item I've entered is an actual X. In other words, do we want to quit? So if $, the answer I've just typed in, first character is equal to either a capital X, or we check again for a smaller x, then again we'll go down to 470 and end the program. If it's not equal to an X, then we create another loop, 1 to 10, because we've got 10 items, and we read $. Remember, we've restored the data, so we can read $, because we've restored it in line 250 at the beginning of this part of the program. Then we simply check to see if whatever's read is equal to what we typed in. If it is, we go to 430, which is down here. If it isn't, it goes through the loop and reads every data statement in there until it's checked them all. If at the end of that it hasn't found anything that we've typed in other words, if we typed in TV, for instance, so we haven't got that in the list, then it would print out this statement here: I'm sorry I couldn't find that item. Please enter the item exactly as printed, including capitals where appropriate. Enter X to exit. So if we mistyped the word, i.e. we didn't put a capital in or something like that, or we put something totally different in, then it would print that out. It would restore the data so that in future it can check again. Then it would go back to line 330 and ask for it again. So you'd retype in, or you'd type an X in, whichever you wish to do. However, even when it does find what you've typed in our case food, so if when it reads food, which I think was the third item, so L would be equal to 3, then it would go to 430. 430 is very simple. Please enter the new value for, and it prints out the word that it's found, $. Okay, so we input the value into array X, position L. That would be 3 because food is the third item across in our data statement. Then it clears the screen, jumps back to the first part of the program, 120, and prints the table out again. I'm not going to go back to 120 because we've covered that in the last lesson. Okay, so if you want to see how that particular part of the program works, go back to lesson 20, either on the site and have a look at it in the text, or on lesson 20's YouTube video. So that's basically all that we're doing there, really. And of course 470 saying print thank you, all edits have been applied, your final table is above, and then it ends the program. Okay, so what we're going to do now is do one more quick run of this program to let you see how it works. And again, we'll put some figures in. We'll put 250 in there, 100 in there, 25 in there, 50 in there, travel 25 in there, gas 10 in there, 12 in there, 8 in there, 25 in there, 12 in there, and 5 in there. So as you can see, we're now left with minus 22. Now, would you like to edit your expenditure table? So let's say yes, we wish to edit the table again, and this time we're going to put in food again. Okay, and please enter the new value for food. So we can cut that down to 35. We're still going minus 7, but for some reason we can't cut anything else on there. Everything is at the bare minimum. So we say, would you like to edit your expenditure table? Let's say we go yes and then change our mind. We still got the option here. Please enter the item to edit or type X to quit. We simply hit X, either lower or uppercase, doesn't matter. Enter, and the program finishes. Okay, so that's it. Pretty simple. Hopefully you've grasped all that, guys, and you put the two together and you've got an even better program. Let's see if you can work on your own now and improve that even more. Thanks a lot for watching these videos. I'll do some more as and when I can. Please rate our videos and put the thumbs up for them on the YouTube, and subscribe to our channel. Please visit our site. We've got thousands of tutorials on there, and have a look at the text on these programs. I'm sure you'll find them fascinating and very helpful, but remember that they are designed to work through from lesson 1 if you've had no prior knowledge of computer programming at all. Start at lesson 1. We start on the basic simple things, how to do very simple programs. You can also test your programs, or test these programs. You can copy and paste these onto a link that we've got on the site, and you can actually run the basic programs via that link on the site. So hopefully we'll see you soon on our site. Thanks a lot, and bye for now.